So,
all right. Who's up next? Chug says, what are both of your thoughts on midterm rentals like pad split? AI says the best strategy for me to cash flow my home.
okay, so you said two things there that actually conflict. Midterm rentals and pad split usually don't go hand in hand. If you're thinking midterm rentals, which are usually around 6 months, 8 months, stuff like that, where you want to check out is Furnish Finder. This is where, by the way, that's where the furnished units would come in. And one of the best sources of midterm rentals is if you have a property that's near what's known as a teaching hospital, which means you have a lot of doctors and nurses that are coming through on a regular basis for, anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 months because they're learning or they're teaching some type of program. And they tend, A, to pay a premium, and then B, they're going to want a really nice furnished apartment because obviously doctors and nurses work really long hours. But pad split, like I said, it's more for people renting rooms. At least that's what's the people I know that use that, that's what they told me. So but as far as the best strategy for you to cash flow your home, I mean, I don't know what the setup on your home is. If you're talking about renting out rooms, I don't know if you have a main house and then a basement, if you have an accessory dwelling unit in the back. I mean, it really all depends. So Chug, do you want to give us an example of the layout of the property that you're talking about? So I'd be able to give you a little bit more better advice. Any advice for real estate in Canada, or should I already have home networks with 230 on it? Any advice investing real estate in Canada?
Get out of Canada.
I mean,
get out of Canada, bro. That's the best advice we can give you.
I mean, but see, this is a perfect example. I already have home network, but now my question would be, okay, this is the way you should evaluate this. You should really look at what are your expenses in Canada, right? Versus how much money you could potentially make renting it out versus taking that same equity in cash and doing it. I mean, you say the States. The States is a very big place. I don't know where specifically in the States, but I would say make that analysis and use that to be the basis of your decision. You should look at, like I said, potential income, what your expenses are, what your cash flow is in Canada versus taking the cash and the equity and bringing it to the States. And then whichever one is better, I would say go with that.
Martin, what's the best asset protection to shield yourself from lawsuits? I'm stuck in NYC due to work, and NYC doesn't offer a lot of asset protection, even with LLC and a irrevocable trust. Good question. I know we had discussed this before with Umbrella, right?
Yeah, actually, there you go. That's the easiest one, umbrella insurance. If you don't know what umbrella insurance is, it's exactly what it sounds like. If you have any other type of insurance that you are at fault and you get sued, umbrella insurance kicks in after that is exhausted. That goes for car insurance, that goes for property insurance, personal liability, et cetera, et cetera. And you can get umbrella insurance through most of your car insurance companies. The only problem is they may require you to have a bit higher protection on your car insurance before they will extend the umbrella insurance.
All right, who's up next? When it comes to your, I'm 24, PNT veteran in Houston, $3,900 a month tax free, and I'm currently using VR and E to get my CDL for trucking. My plan is to go OTR for a year, save up $50K, crush debt, max out my Roth IRA, and then use my VA loan to buy, I think, a fourplex. My thing is blocking it, but with 0% down tips. I mean, what do you think? I think that's like a pretty solid plan.
Okay, so although I'm a veteran, I'm not 100% sure which, I guess, I want to say I should know what PNT means, but I assume you mean it sounds like you might be 100% disabled through the VA, which if that's the case, the first thing I want to tell you is that you are, I believe in Texas, you are 100% exempt from property taxes. Please double check that. I know that is the case in Florida. You absolutely should look into the VA loan, and you can buy a triplex or fourplex. Here's something else a lot of veterans do not know.
But just keep in mind, it's going to be expensive monthly. It's going to be, you're going to pay PMI, you're going to pay a high,
no,
high mortgage.
Not with the VA loan.
Oh, they don't got to pay PMI?
No.
With VA? That's good. All right.
So another thing too, you can use the VA loan to build a property. So if you know of an area that would work for a nice triplex or fourplex, you can literally use the VA loan. They will do a construction loan for you and build that property.
That's good.
So,
damn, was zero money loan down. Okay, Anonymous says, hi, Myron and Roger. Thanks to your guys' advice, I closed on my first apartment last week. No financing, $73K. I think he means a condo then. Looking for some tax tips. Should I do cost segregation study to get XL depreciation? But if I sell soon, would it cost more to pay that deduction back? Well, why would you sell, bro? You know, you don't want to, like, the goal here is to, like, not sell if you can. Part 2 is continued. I won't be able to use the paper loss against my active income, right? I have a non-real estate FT job making $100K a year. Thanks, guys.
That is an accountant question, my friend.
Yeah. And then also, like, why would you buy the house to try to... First, you said you close on your apartment, so I'm assuming you really mean a condominium. And then you didn't finance it. You paid $73K cash, it looks like. And you're looking for some tax tips. You could do cost seg.
I think what he's saying, right? I know what he's saying. He's saying, like, obviously, if he does accelerated depreciation, he would have to hold it, not soon, but for 27 and a half years.
I was going to say, 27 is, it's going to depreciate at that level.
So if he sells it any time before that, then, he ends up paying that money he got back for the cost set. Yeah, he's going to have to, because he didn't hold it for the full term. But like you said, look, one thing I'll tell you guys, I know a whole bunch of people that have regretted selling properties. I don't know anyone that's regretted holding them.
Yeah.
So I would strongly advise you guys to really think.
And you bought a condo,
something, unless you just have a total lemon that's just costing you ridiculous money every year.
Yeah. And a lot of the times it's easier to hold and find ways to cut costs than to, you could go ahead and sell it, but like a lot of times you're going to, depending on what it is, and then it's a condo. Condos are hard to sell, dude. That's why I tell you guys all the time. I've said this for years, guys, don't buy condos. I bought a condo because I'm in a very unique situation where we're doing a show here and everything else like that. It makes sense. But in a lot of situations, guys, condos like don't make sense from a, investor perspective for most people. Outside of extraordinary examples of like what we got here. Who's up next? Hi, Seha. These are really good questions, by the way, guys. I want to open my own property management business. What should I learn so that when I open, I'm ready for the most part? This is a perfect question for you. That's what you did.
Okay, so in most states, they require you to be a real estate broker or to have some type of licensing. I don't know what state you're in. So there most likely will be a licensing requirement. But in lieu of that, or while you're working on that, I would say go work for a property management company that manages the types of properties that you would like to manage so you could learn the business.
All right. We got up next, Myron, I'm in Sri Lanka, living in Australia. I want to make sure to start a credit file in the U.S. and get into investing by 2020. I've opened up a LLC, got my EIN and working on getting the ITN and getting a credit card. What advice do you have for me? Well, how are you going to come to the United States? Are you going to come here? Are you an Australian citizen? Are you a Sri Lankan citizen? Which one are you? And then as far as like you coming here, are you going to get like what kind of visa are you going to get? Like there's more.
So I think what he's thinking about is him buying property here
And then
still,
living abroad?
and still living abroad, yeah, which he can do.
Yeah, but he's probably not going to be open to certain financing options, right? Is he open to a U.S. citizen? He's probably going to have to come out with way more money cash.
Yeah, he's going to need to talk to a mortgage broker. There's I mean, I work with mortgage brokers where there are certain products for people that are non-U.S. residents to buy, and but
like a typical conventional 30-year fix is probably not going to be available to him, I'm assuming.
No, I mean, it will be just higher interest rates or more money down, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that makes a big difference, bro. Are you Sri Lankan? Are you Australian? Right. Obviously as an Australian, you can come here and visit whenever, right? You don't need a visa. But as a Sri Lankan, you do. So I'm not exactly sure. And then do you plan to buy it and then like just live abroad and collect from it? Is that what you plan to do? Because that's going to obviously change things a lot too. Guys, try to give us as much information as you can, like how much you earn, where you live, because that will heavily dictate what we can, how we would dispense advice to you. Thank you, Myron. I don't think you get a lot of praise. Definitely helped me a lot. I went through a lot, but watching your videos gave me hope and made me a better man for my sibling. Thank you. I don't know where I would be without your help. COVID time, wish me luck. Want to make 5K next month. Should be possible working 16 hours a day. Absolutely, bro. 100%. Absolutely. That's completely feasible. You should be making more if you're working that much. Malarkey says, 21-year-old college senior